Hello, this is Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech number 27, here to talk about the top 10 ramp cards for EDH. This is the video that I've been working on for the longest period of time. When I started this video, Primeval Titan was still legal. Shortly after doing my first draft, Primeval Titan was banned. Now this video has come to be known as What to Replace a Prime Time With. This video can easily be all green. Let's jump in first to the theory. The theory here is pretty simple. Number one, you want to have color fixing in your ramp. Anything that allows you to get those multiple colors in the EDH out is extremely useful. Additionally, you want acceleration. You want the ability to skip forward a few extra turns. If you can combine color fixing and acceleration, it's even better. And the absolute best is color fixing, acceleration, and some card advantage. Some colors did get the short end of the stick on this particular video. I'm not a big fan of rituals in EDH. EDH games tend to go longer, and the one-use editions are not great. Red and black do have some cards that have made it in other areas. Blue, on the other hand, I spent a lot of time racking my brain to find blue ramp. If I've missed blue ramp, please let me know. But after several hours of looking through the internet, the only things that I could find were Theta and Acquire, which are probably cheating, because it's just ways to steal ramp from your opponents. And this little gem, Dreamscape Artist. Look at that. What an incredible card. 3 mana, tap, discard a card, sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic lands and put them into play, then shuffle your library? Okay, it's horrible. Terrible. Blue is one of the absolute worst rampers. Blue has everything else, but it does not have good ramp, which is why I often pair it with artifacts if I want to go over the top. White also is a bit light on ramp. Okay, not just a bit light, it's terrible on ramp. It has some wonderful cards that let you search out and make sure that you make your land drops every turn, but there is almost no ramp in white. Sorry, white. Let's jump into the top 10 now. The number 10 spot here is one that could easily make it to be number 1 on other people's lists, Solemn Simulacrum, because it's playable in any deck. It ramps, it color fixes, it gives card advantage regardless of your board state. Green's got some other honorable mentions here, and white even has an honorable mention in Knight of the White Orchid. But I have yet to build a deck without Solemn Simulacrum because this card is so useful in every deck. Number 9, I've got Colorless ramp here. Now this does not produce card advantage, and it does not color fix, but it skips you ahead several turns. I was extremely happy to see Soul Ring in the Commander decks. Mana Vault is another wonderful cheap card that you can throw into Commander decks, and Basalt Monolith is also great. Thran Dynamo is a very nice Basalt Monolith that untaps for free every turn, and even Worn Power Stone, which is the poor man's Soul Ring, because it comes into play tapped and costs 3 mana, is actually a great addition in many EDH decks. In the number 8 spot here, I've got artifacts that ramp and color fix, with Chromatic Lantern being the absolute best there. It color fixes for all of your land, and even lets your land that don't already produce mana start producing mana. This is great to pair with a Maze of Ith, or Coalition Relic is great because it actually double ramps and color fixes, and Darksteel Ingot is ideal if you're playing in an environment where there are lots of board wipes that also hit artifacts. In the number 7 spot here, I have the Signets and keyrunes with an honorable mention to Fellar's Stone. Signets are definitely the fastest of these in being able to come out on turn 2. Keyrunes are a little bit slower on turn 3, but I actually like them better as they fit the flavor of the colors more in giving you a creature that also fits the particular colors you're playing. Fellar's Stone is also really nice and has a wonderful multiplayer dynamic in allowing you to tap for colors that your opponent's control. Skyshroud Claim here makes number 6 because this is really a double ramp in basic land. So this basically has the same effect as a Soul Ring, but it's less vulnerable to being destroyed. Explosive Vegetation and Ranger's Paths are definitely honorable mentions here, but neither one is as good as Skyshroud Claim because it allows you to get forests and put them in untapped. And make sure you read that carefully. These are forests, not basic forests, so it allows you to go get dual lands or shock lands. In the number 5 spot here, I have a very similar spell in Kodama's Reach and Cultivate, with an honorable mention to recross the paths Harrow and Far Wanderings. Far Wanderings actually a tech that a friend brought up that I was not aware of, and the threshold is just incredible, allowing you to go get 3 basic lands and put them into play tapped. In the number 4 spot here, I have kind of flare-like abilities, those abilities that add extra mana to your lands. Gauntlet of Might and now the new Gauntlet of Power are some of the best out there, although they're a little bit expensive on the mana cost. Mana Flare is back from Alpha and Beta and works for everyone. What I like about Mana Reflection, though, better than any of these, is that it only affects you. Mirari's Wake has that same only affecting you and gives you a buff to your creatures. Extraplanar Lens I'm less impressed with, as it does affect everyone, but it also can end up moving you back a turn initially, depending on how much mana you have, and if it's destroyed, you're simply out of land. In the number 3 spot here, I have Oracle of Mul Daya, which I actually think is the best replacement for Primeval Titan directly, as it can often allow you to get 2 extra land per turn, which is what Primeval Titan did, although it has a much more fragile body. You really need to combine Oracle of Mul Daya, though, with Miri's Guile or Sensei's Divining Top, Scroll Rack, to make sure that you hit those land drops. I think this is significantly better than the honorable mentions of Exploration, or even its big brother in EDH, Burgeoning, which can often allow you to get 5 or 6 land into play on the first turn, because this gives you additional card advantage. The number 2 spot here, I really have the Mega Ramp spells. These are the ones that allow you to skip forward several turns, often 7, 8, 9, 10 turns ahead of your opponent for the amount of mana you can produce. Raphaelis is so powerful he's been banned as a general, but is still a staple in green EDH decks. And Cobble Coffers is one of the few ramp spells in black that is worth playing. Come in here, see if you can guess what the number 1 top spot is. Okay, moving on to number 1. Got Collective Voyage here, which I know is going to be a little bit controversial to people. Collective Voyage is really an upgraded version of Veteran Explorer or New Frontiers. Collective Voyage does have a bit of group hug going on in it, as it makes everybody feel good, it accelerates the game, lets everybody cast things, and it actually comes back to you. You are the last one who benefits from it because they come into play tapped. Although, I think the best EDH players out there can turn this group hug into a frightening deck that is able to do some incredibly fun things the following turn. Okay, this has been Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech with the top 10 ramp cards for EDH. If there's any that I left off, please let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas to improve my EDH decks. On a side note, we just hit 10,000 views on the Mythic MTG Tech channel, and we'll have a bonus video coming up here of a topic chosen by the community. Thanks.